Hi everybody, it's Queen Jelly here and welcome back to my toy box. This is a doll and toy themed YouTube channel. I like to post here at least once a week. With that being said, I just want to get a couple housekeeping things out of the way. One, as a reminder, this is an adult channel meant for adult collectors. I do my best to keep it family friendly, but do just keep that in mind. And number two, if you're interested in any particular part of this video, there should be a timeline down below that you can skip to. Usually we'll start with a little bit of a chit chat before we get started. Then we'll look closely at the box, of course unbox the doll, then we'll take a review of her, and then I'll give my final thoughts as well as show a quick preview of what the next video will be. So for today's video, we're going to be unboxing Faye, the fairy Pixling. Faye was chosen via a vote in my last Pixlings video, so I do have a full series of Series 2 Pixlings. The video playlist will be linked to the end of this video, but if there is a doll that has not been unboxed yet, I'm going to leave a comment down below with the name of that Pixling. If you want to see that one unboxed next, just click the little like button on the comment and that will be a vote for it. So that's how this one won, via that vote. So she is the next one to unbox. Since today we are unboxing a character that already exists in Series 1 that I do already have, after we do her unboxing and regular review, we'll also look at her side by side with her V1 version, do like just a quick comparison, see what the differences are, what the similarities are, and go from there. I do want to show you her crystal here, which we'll probably look at again in the next section. As a reminder, she should have been part of the ones I got from Walmart for $6. They were on clearance. My assumption, I could be wrong, is that they were being clearanced out because we should be seeing Series 2 Wave 2 put on shelves soon. So this is Series 2 Wave 1. Very simple packaging other than what we're going to look at on the desk. And I think I've talked a lot about these in the other videos, so I don't think I have a lot to say now, so we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so as you can see, I have my towel put out, and this is a bottle of warm water. So if you saw my last video, I did have a little bit of a potion fail. However, I was told that it could potentially be because of the temperature of the water. I've seen some other videos where they say it could take up to 5 minutes for that to clear up. So I was potentially being a little bit impatient. I definitely would, though, have waited a little bit longer if it looked like it had even started, but I wasn't seeing any difference no matter how many times I pumped the top. So this time I made sure to have some nice warm water so that hopefully we don't have a fail again. Also, if you see glitter all over the place, typically the glitter is pretty contained in the water, but because of the oopsie kitties from last time, I did end up with getting glitter all over the place. So just putting that out there that it can happen, but it doesn't usually happen. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the doll, and then I'll go into my 2x speed. If you're interested in a breakdown of the individual steps, you can just look at the video for Angel. Again, that will be in the playlist down at the end of the video, and it should also be in an iCard. But we are going to just do a 2x speed unboxing, so you get to watch it, but I'm not going to like break down each of the individual steps. For the doll, we have this crystal here at the top that will tell us which one we got. So this is a green moon, and then also it is lenticular, so you can see Faye's crystal here, which you can see on her forehead in this image. It does come with this little tag here that says 1 vessel, 1 doll, 1 ingredients, 1 instructions, 1 collector's guide. And then on the back it says, enter a new magical realm where Mixies, Pixlings, and mini Mixies live together and spread magic across the world, leaving little sparkle wherever they go. Mix the potion and say the magic words. Start the shimmer reveal. Your Pixling will magically appear. Mix your potion and your Pixlings will magically appear. And then these are the options that we have. Out of these ones, I've actually only opened this one. So we have these other 3 to open. This is the one I'm going to be opening today. And I think that's all that I have. And there she is, Faye the Fairy Pixling. Very exciting. So I don't think I mentioned it before, but there is a slim chance that you could get a super rare one. I don't have any anticipation of getting one, but it still makes the reveal a little bit more exciting because there is a chance that it could be something other than what you thought it was. But it'll definitely be either that one or the one that's indicated on the bottle, or at least it should be. I haven't ever had any issue or heard of anyone accidentally getting the wrong one. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, anything can happen, but I absolutely love the Shimmerverse reveals. I love how the sparkles go, and I just think that they're so cute. I also think that that reveal was much better. So definitely I recommend using the warmer water. It definitely felt like it made a huge difference in the speed of the reveal. Obviously, if you want it to take a little bit longer, you're more than welcome to use a little bit colder water. But definitely using the warmer water made that go super fast. And that's, as someone who's more interested in the doll, 1, and 2, just trying to do it for a video, it is much more convenient if I don't have to sit here and film a bottle slowly transition over 5 minutes. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting her the rest of the way out. Quick thing, I still will say it in every video, I really like the improvements that they made to series 2 of these dolls. So far, all the incidents that I've had have definitely been from user error rather than from a fault in the design. So I'm pretty happy with the way that the tubs work and everything like that, so that there is very little mess, and this time your doll comes out completely dry. You don't have to worry about that, and you actually have a collector's guide that's not turned to mush because it got wet. So also they feel a little bit more plasticky, so even if they did get wet, I think they might survive a little bit better than before. This first panel here is the same that was on the back of the box, which I've already read. And then here it says, you created Faye the Fairy Pixling, Cosmic Element Crystal, Potion Power, Cosmic Bloom. I remember the first series, they were just like magic, friendship, love, luck. So it's kind of interesting that they have like full on like types and powers, so that's kind of interesting. Faye is a nurturing fairy pixling who spreads seeds of kindness wherever she goes. Being in her presence nourishes hearts, fosters growth, and inspires others to reach new heights. That's super cute. This one is a QR code that you can scan to give you ideas of things you can use your bottle for. I'm probably going to be getting rid of mine once I get rid of all that water from it. And then we have which will you find, showing that the crystal will show you which one, just like I showed earlier. We have Marina the Mermaid Pixling, Fiona the Phoenix Pixling, Caitlin the Cat Pixling, and Faye the Fairy Pixling. Also available, Uni and Rainbow Star, and then this says it's the collector's guide. Again, if you'd like to see Caitlin or Unia's review, just follow that playlist at the end of the video. And if you'd like to see Marina or Phoenix next, just go ahead and vote for them down below. The other 2 from the hair series should also be in the comments section. All right, and then if you see here, she is standing on this ring. This is on the very top of the Pixling's bottles. This is what covers up the magic words of Magicus Mixius, but make sure you don't throw it away because you can use it as the stand. They do have the ability to stand on their own if you balance them right, but this can help, or it can be a hindrance just depending on how they're balanced. Some of my Pixlings I still use this on, and others I don't. It kind of just depends, but I don't throw any of them away, especially because it's just this peg here that goes into their shoe, so it is cross compatible. If one of them is being a little bit picky, maybe a different one can use the stand instead. She has the super cutest hair. Like, I love, oh no, I was gonna say I love this curl and her hand grabbed it, but it's still fine. This actually has product in it, which is the first time I've ever felt crunch from a Pixling doll, but it also makes sense because that's the only way to keep this like super tight curl. So I'm okay with that, especially because the rest of it is down and long, just like it usually is, no product. There is a little bit of a texture in it because she does have some tinsel, which is this kind of like light blue color here. But otherwise it is the normal super soft Pixling hair. It is pink and green, which is actually in this like fairly detailed hairstyle. So it is just a super high pony, but then again, it does have this pulls to the side here with the curl. So you can see that there's pink and green stripes on this side, and then the part that goes just back is just solid pink, which is really kind of cool. I like how it has this like split here at her hairline where a little bit goes this way, but then the rest go back. And they even rooted like thinner green streaks in for the curl. So again, this is, as far as Pixlings go, a fairly elaborate hairstyle. So I really like that they seem to be branching out a lot more for series 2, where series 1 was a lot of like all the way down or all the way up. Series 2 has each had like a very unique hairstyle. She has this crystal here at the top for a little ponytail piece, kind of like a little tiara. Super cute. Moving down from the hair, we have their forehead gem, which is a crystal shape, and then has these pink painted crystals all around the outside. Also, she has pink eyebrows, and then quite elaborate makeup that kind of looks like yellow crystals around her eyes, and then some sparkles below it. Her eyes are kind of a pink going into a yellow with red in the center instead of black, which is really unique. Usually it's very risky to give dolls like red eyes like that, but I think it works for her because of her overall color scheme, and they're not super bright or vibrant. So from far away, you can't even tell that they're that red. So I really like that. Her ears are really cute, actually. They kind of have that like elf shape, but then there's crystals growing out of the bottom. And then for her top, it is pink and molded on. It is a one shoulder piece. But again, if you can kind of see those like geometric designs, that's really neat because that's something you wouldn't be able to get out of a fabric detail, especially not at this scale. And then she has this green trim around the bottom. It's almost kind of in a like flower shape or a crystal shape. And then she actually has wings on the back, which are really cute. Again, made out of crystals. They are semi-opaque, and it has a little smaller detail on the center, if you can see that kind of like wing shape inside of them, and then the crystals around the outside. That's really cool. And then her skirt is this shiny plastic, but it has these geometric patterns on it. And comparatively to how this material usually feels, it's actually pretty soft and flexible. Might be because it's such a thin layer of it, and then there's this softer fabric layer underneath. Still not like the softest material, but it's not bad. And like I said, it feels a lot better than this kind of plasticky looking material usually does. And I think that they went with it because of its like shimmer effect and the way that it like will allow that crystal look to come through a little bit better. It doesn't feel like it's going to like break over time because it is so flexible, because that's usually the problem with this type of material, is if it doesn't have any give, when you try to bend it, it will eventually crack that plastic. And then we have a bracelet that's molded on. Again, has that kind of crystal design or kind of like a compass there in the center. Super cute. And then her legs are actually a gradient, which I think is really unique. It starts as a light pink and goes to a darker pink as we get down. And I do see that she actually has a ribbon here. Not a lot of them have the ribbons in the middle. So that is very nice because that ribbon helps keep the skirt from sliding up. Most of Pixlings don't have it because of the molded tops kind of help keep it down in place. But it is still nice to see. And then for her shoes, they are pink crystals again within a green sole, which has some more crystals on it. I really like them bringing the kind of green elements down throughout her outfit and not just up in her hair. And then down at the bottom we have a little MM for magic mixies, and then like I said, that hole to go into her stand, which is a kind of light pink peachy color. It's actually not a color that's really in her anywhere, so I wouldn't know that that came with her, other than I guess it kind of matches the shoe color, but even still it's a little bit peachier than that. But like I said, you just take that hole, you kind of stick it in there. Because the shoes are rubbery, it kind of just grips it, and then you can use it to keep her up. Again, they do have a tendency to be able to stand without them, but it is definitely a great thing that they come with stands. Now that we've looked at her individually, we'll go ahead and take a look at her next to her original. I do really like that they were able to kind of keep the same color scheme with her and keep that like pink and green color going throughout. I feel like Unia was quite different between her two dolls, but I feel like these two are fairly similar. I still have feelings that are kind of interesting with them changing the crystal shape. However, I feel like the way that the vibes that this one gives off is almost like she kind of gained this extra crystal power, like crystals grew on top of her pre-existing design, which is why she now has this like crystal shape instead of the flower shape, because underneath she's still very similar. She has the same color kind of skin tone. I do feel like the new one's face is a little bit thinner and less rounded, but they do have very similar ear shape except for the growth of the crystals on that, so I think that's a really nice touch. Again, they have a similar color scheme and kind of overall aesthetic, of course, other than she has a flower aesthetic and she has a crystal aesthetic, but a lot of the crystals are in kind of a natural flower-like pattern, in my opinion, so it kind of feels like a natural progression rather than a complete change from her design. Her original still has like the pink and green hair. I like that that didn't really change. As you can see, the original has a half up, half down look, and so does she, just in a slightly different way. So again, I feel like they still feel like the same doll. They don't feel like completely different characters. So I don't mind this one as much as I did with Unia as far as like the differences. Because with Unia, I felt like they should have just named it a different character, but with this one, it feels, like I said, like us still like the same character, just kind of a natural progression into a different power set. So, and then here is, she does have the wings, so you can kind of see that they took her wing design and kind of shrunk that into the back of her crystal design. So I think that's really cute. Yeah, that's the two of them together. I feel like because I've been doing a lot of these Pixlings videos, they've kind of gotten a little bit more refined, a little bit quicker done, so I don't really have too much to say today, but I am happy to have her added to the collection. And as always, I love all of my Pixlings. They are super great, and thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Please do not forget to do all the fun YouTube things like comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and it really helps you out because if you enjoy our content, it makes it so that you can find it again in the future. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Stick around to see what comes next.